Have you heard of a Martin chiropractic table? Well, behind me I've got a VE3000. This is the Elevation Martin table. It has the foot cocking drops, and these drops are really clean and crisp. Who would this table be perfect for? What are the pros and cons? And a detailed breakdown of the individual features within a Martin table. Well, let's dive in. This table would really suit a manual adjusting chiropractor or a chiropractor that loves a crisp, clean drop without the price tag. So when it comes to the frame, it's so sturdy, and that's why people that adjust all over the table with a bit more force, there's no give in the frame whatsoever. It's one of the longest lasting tables, being Australian made. We've got people all across Australia that has had 20-year-old Martin tables that are still going strong. So who would this table be perfect for? Someone that likes a really rigid frame, one that you don't lose any force with your adjustments into the frame, because Martin tables have the sturdiest frame on the market. The other thing about this table is the drops. They're really clean and crisp, and they're actually adjustable when you set up the drops. You can make it as short or as large as you like, which is a really fantastic feature. What are the pros and cons of the Martin table? The biggest pro is the frame design. It is so sturdy. I've never had another chiropractic table that just is as solid as anything. You don't lose any of the force of your adjustments into the table. It's so sturdy. And that's all the way across the entire table, whether it's an upper thoracic adjustment or you're adjusting someone's ankle on the table, you don't lose any force through the frame. The next really great thing is having these foot cocking levers in a direction that's going forward, and the drops being a straight, clean, crisp drop. These drops are just as good as a Hill, a Zenith, and a Lloyd, but without the price tag. So some of the cons about the Martin table is it is definitely not the most aesthetically pleasing table. With the wide open frame, it does look a bit industrial, or it's kind of like the Farm Fix table. The parts are really interchangeable, which makes it easy for servicing and also maintenance, but definitely the finishing touches aren't as good quality as some of those high-end USA made tables. This is a refurbished table, and that's one of the good things is they last a long time. This table is actually going to go and see its third career. They're built to last. But with that comes some aesthetics that could be left to be desired. So let's get into a detailed breakdown of the features. So the Martin table has a simple motor system. It's an exposed 3-piece motor, which is a foot pedal, control box, and a linear actuator, which is an electric motor. These can be easily changed if one was to fail. They're super easy to swap out, but they are very reliable and they can go for decades. At the end here, we've got a ankle rest. This one just slides out. There's also optional plastic buffers to raise the height of this, but it is fixed and set at that height. We do have this model having a pelvic piece with no pelvic wind. There is an option to put a pelvic wind in place, and the drop still functions with that wind. This one has the foot cocking levers, which are easy to work on. It comes in a straight direction, so you actually, as you're standing side on to the table, you're easily able to cock those pieces. As you can see, the pelvic drop is right at the pelvic piece. That's a straight drop, and the whole thoracic cushion actually elevates and drops. So the drop post is right in the center of the thoracic cushion, and that allows for a really, really clean, crisp drop that not many other brands actually have. It's a unique feature to the Martin that has this whole large cushion, drop up, tension gets set, and clean, crisp drop down. It's a nice medium to short drop that's very, very easy to work with. As we move up to the headpiece, this one is optioned with tilt-only headpiece, but they both also allow for elevation as well. So at this end, this one is easily to just lift up, and there's a little trigger down the bottom here that can be dropped down. There's a tension knob on the side and an easy drop lever that's activated. This is an FM drop, so Martin tables have that forward motion with the drop, and this one has a really sturdy headpiece. The armrest is nice and tucked away on the side, built into the frame, and as you can see, even when we're pushing down on the frame at the top, this has got to be one of the most sturdy frames that chiropractic tables have ever had. So there's a built-in face paper holder underneath, a nice little bar to keep that tucked under, easy to clean, and a little face paper cutter on the side. But when it comes to the Martin table, it also has a nice easy elevation. This is a medium to slow motor. It is just a simple electric motor, which is easy to use, and you can actually option this with 2 foot pedals. And it has a really, really great working height. One of the best things about this Martin table, if you're a shorter practitioner, make sure that you get your hands on a Martin table. It is the lowest table that you can possibly get your hands on. It is as low as a side posture bench, going down to 42 centimeters at its lowest height. So if you're a short practitioner, this is absolutely the best table to get your hands on. So when it comes to Martins, there's definitely some things to love and some things to be desired. But if you're having a look at an elevation drop table and you want something really sturdy, maybe a refurbished Martin or even a brand new one is the best table for you. If you need help choosing all the options or working out which table is going to suit your practice style the best, definitely check out our website, build all those table options, or book a discovery call so that we can custom inquire about what table is going to be the best for you.